we have made it to 2025, and so far we have teams that have been great and won a championship. And then there are teams, that obviously disappoint us. But the large majority of teams obviously disappoint us, by winning or losing or just coming up short of a championship. I have seen a lot of disappointment throughout my entire life as a Minnesota sports fan, and there are some teams who obviously, just haven't won anything in a long time. So today we give you the 9 sports teams who haven't won a playoff game or series since the 2000s. So let's roll on into it. The Cincinnati Reds. Yeah. I shouldn't have put them on this list, but come on. Their last playoff series win was 1995. Yeah, 1995. 30 years ago. They missed the playoffs every year from 1996 to 2009. They made the playoffs again in 2010, 12, 13, and 2020, but lost all of those series. They came short in 2012 and almost reaching the NLCS, but lost to the Giants. But it's just safe to say that they currently now hold the longest MLB series drought. So, sorry to say that thing will just continue and continue. But at least now they have Ellie De La Cruz. The Los Angeles Angels. The Angels were great in the 2000s when they won the World Series and made the ALCS twice. 2005, 2009, and their last playoff series win was in 2009 when they last won a playoff game. But other than that, not much fun at all. After 2009, the Angels have only made the playoffs once, and that was during the whole Mike Trout era. They're just wasting his talents. Wasted free agency like Albert Pujols, Anthony Rendon, manager Joe Maddon, Ron Washington, Mike Scioscia. Yeah. And now they have the longest active playoff drought among any MLB team. The Detroit Pistons. Oh boy, the Pistons really missed the Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups days. Their last playoff win was in 2008, and their last playoff series win was in 2008. Because after 2008, they only made the playoffs 3 times and got swept. Yes, they now have lost, I think it's 14 games. I don't know. It's been hard for Detroit sports fans. They had Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, and D Rose, but they're long gone. So now they just have a entire young core right now. And, oh boy, Pistons fans really miss the 2000s. The Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres' last playoff series win was in 2007, where they beat the New York Rangers in 6 games in the conference semifinals before losing to the Senators in the conference finals. After 2007, they've only made the playoffs just twice and haven't won a playoff series and consistently hold the longest playoff drought with the New York Jets and are consistently among the league's worst teams. The Chicago White Sox. Their last playoff series win was in 2005, where they won the World Series against the Houston Astros. But other than that, the White Sox are just tough to watch. They've made the playoffs in 2008, and they missed the playoffs every year from 2009 to 2019. In the 2020s, they were looking up as a bright future team. In 2020, they made the playoffs, but lose the A's in the wild card round. Then they were really good at 2021, but then they had a big downfall, and now they suck again and are considerably among the league's worst teams. Sorry to say, but at least, hey, the Chicago Cubs won the World Series in 2016, so they did something special. The Sacramento Kings, their last playoff series win was in 2004. They missed the playoffs every year from 2007 to 2022. They've only made the playoffs once since 2006, and haven't won a playoff series. They're consistently one of the worst teams in basketball. And were the worst teams in the 2010s. They haven't come close of reaching the postseason. But at least now you have Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan, right? The Charlotte Hornets. Oh boy. Their last playoff series win was back in 2002. Well, that was back when they were actually the New Orleans Hornets. I mean, yeah, it's so confusing. And then they Charlotte got a basketball team back called the Charlotte Bobcats. They made the playoffs again in 2010, 14, and 16. And they were so close to advancing to the next round against the Miami Heat. Because the Hornets are just a very tough team to watch. They haven't won more than 40 games in a season once. Since 2022, they've only won more than 40 games once since 2016. LaMelo Ball is the only star that's obviously there. It didn't really help that Kemba Walker was the only star during that time. Sorry to say that things will never look up soon enough. But if you have LaMelo Ball, try and build around him. The Las Vegas Raiders. Oh boy. The Las Vegas Raiders' last playoff win was in 2002, where they made it all the way to the Super Bowl before losing to Jon Gruden's Buccaneers. Yes, the Jon Gruden, who originally was the coach of the Raiders. And after the Raiders were beaten by the Bucs in the Super Bowl, they missed the playoffs every year from 2003 to 2015. They made the playoffs again in 2016. However, Derek Carr couldn't play because he injured his fibula. So they lost to the Texans in the wild card round. They made it again in 2021, but were beaten by Joe Burrow's Bengals in the wild card round. And they've only made the playoffs twice since 2002. And it's just so sad for Raiders fans what they had to go over right now. I mean, the Raiders definitely deserve better. And the Raiders fans definitely deserve a lot better. Number 1, the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins now currently hold the longest active playoff win drought in all the sports. Because their last playoff series win was in 2000. 25 years ago. They made the playoffs in 2001, 16, 2022, and 2023, but they haven't won a playoff game. I mean, the AFC East was tough with the Patriots dynasty of sorts. But now, they still have Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Ramsey. So, but that's where they are right now. They are now the current team that has yet to win a playoff game. So, this is where they are right now. The team that is number 1 that hasn't won a playoff game since the 2000s. What other sports team who haven't won a playoff game or playoff series since the 2000s? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new to this channel, hey, come on. Join in. I don't know. But as always, I'm Charlie. Thanks for watching.